I'm Seqkat from Seqkat'sEnlightenedEnjoyment.com, and thank you for being here with me. Okay, so this is a pick a card reading. So what you want to do is you want to look at the totems and choose the one that you feel is best aligned with you. And you can go ahead and look at those now and start tuning in. And when you figure out which one that you feel an affinity towards, you can go straight to the description box below and click on the timestamp that will take you straight to your totem. So it'll either be the cat, the raven, or the wolf. So take your time, and if you need to pause the video, feel free to do so and connect with the one that is calling you. Okay, so I will see you at your totem. Okay, welcome if you chose the cat totem. So let's see what your theme card is for a message from your future self. What's your next step? Ooh, be patient. Okay, so what do we need to be patient about? Let's get the cards and see what we got to say here. So just a reminder, guys, I have this tune to many of you, so you'll have to pay attention in each of your unique relative stories. So you'll have to pay attention to see what is calling you. Whoa, that card's jumping right there already. That is relative to you. Okay, guys. Oh, it's not looking too pretty here. Okay, so we've got the Hermit card here in reverse. So your future self is letting you know, do not isolate too much. It is always good to go in and have some introspection time with yourself and your higher self and your guides and your angels or whatever your deities are that you work with. It's always good to take some time and do that, but you don't want to do it too much, because if there's any healing that needs to be done, and from the next card that I'm seeing there's healing that needs to be done, we actually heal best with others, because we are social creatures. Even if we are the introverted type of personalities, we are still social creatures, and that is very necessary for our healing. And this also represents Virgo, so again, tune into your relative story, whether or not this may be you or the situation that the cards are going to unfold, maybe someone with whom you're engaged in that situation. And so sadly, we are seeing, yes, guys, I am really sorry to see this. You have hit some ultimate defeat here. Something has not been good for you, and you are licking the wounds and feeling the pain from this. And I am very, very sorry about that. The good news is it's come to an end. And so now it's a time to rise up, because you've hit the bottom here, so you can't sink down any further. And it looks like here too with the Earth Tom that you are being offered some family support of some type. So we'll see if okay, there is a few more cards there. I was gonna say, we'll see if we got any more cards coming for your theme, and then we'll move on to the past. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, gosh, guys, y'all really been going through this. I'm really sorry. Okay, so we've been clashing with personalities, not working together to attain a common goal. So we have been unable to accept different personalities. We each have our unique traits and unique abilities and unique personalities that we can bring, and we can like form a good picture and help each other. But sometimes, unfortunately, those personalities can clash and we don't do well, or if we're not open to receiving and accepting the differences, it will not go well. So I see we've been clashing with someone. But the good news is we are having a spiritual breakthrough with this, so that's good. So that could lean back towards that card. Be patient, hang in there. You might be going through a bit of hell right now, but hang in there. Things are going to get better in that regard. So it looks like they're mixing a little bit of past and future, or present tense too. And it looks like there has been possibly some failure that you are also dealing with there. And oh gosh, yes, it looks like with some of this ultimate defeat that you very well may have gone, even possibly, it's a tangled mess with others, obviously, and we're seeing that with the personality and the failures also. It's a tangled mess. If it has by chance, tune into your relative story. If it has by chance gone into any legal issues, those look good for you. But we do have a tangled mess here going on. And then, yep, your nightmares and visions have come to the forefront. Your fears are here, and they have arrived. So we're going to have to work with those. And you got to be careful with those fears, especially with the Magician card or the Cat Magician here coming up reverse here, because those fears will have you creating what you do not want to experience in your relative reality. And then you might already be experiencing exactly that, because where you put your focus, your thoughts on, and your feelings is where you start creating, and that's where you start manifesting, and that's where you start experiencing in your relative reality. So your themes is not looking too good, guys, and I'm really sorry about that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at your past. We're going to have 3 rows here. We're going to look at your past that is affecting your present tense, and then we're going to look at what's your next step from your future self, which will be from your future self of your best, and that one will be your highest alignment and good, and then we will clarify the reading as well. Okay. Okay, so looking at your past that is affecting your present. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we got any more. Oh gosh, guys, y'all really be going through. Okay, so we've got the Sky Queen, and she's in reverse, and she's usually really good at getting into a neutral perspective when she's upright and being logical and making some really smart decisions. Seeing her in reverse here, she can go one of 2 ways. So again, tune into your relative stories. She's either gotten too cold-hearted, maybe with circumstances, and that can make you close off your heart and respond with a cold-heartedness. Or maybe you're dealing with someone that's very cold-hearted, so you got to tune into your story. Or it's possible, because she can make a non-attached, non-emotional decision, that she's emotionally attached to a situation or a person or something that's not going well, and we're going to need to let go of that. So you need to tune in to how this story fits you, because we've got many of you here. And then we also have the Star card in reverse, and this represents Aquarius. And with the Star card in reverse, when I see this here, this is you're not being who you are. This always tells me that we've been listening to the ego, and we can see the mess that the ego leads us into, because the ego is looking out for thrival and response in fear and pain, and is trying to avoid death, number one. And even if its own identity is going to die, it's going to try to protect that. And then it's trying to avoid as much pain as possible, and it cannot even begin to trust that it can make a better decision for thriving. So we definitely want to flip this up and tune into our higher self and become who we are and make decisions and choices from that perspective. And speaking of that, you are being invited to go within and meditate and connect with your guides and your angels and your higher self and gain some spiritual perspective on that. So you're definitely being invited to that. So I don't know if you were invited to do this because this is your past tense, so I don't know if you failed to heed that or not. Definitely showing too that you have been in some overwhelm with what your theme was showing. I could definitely understand that. That shows affirmation of that. And then here we were, again, more fighting with the others. And when this is upright, this is like a righteous defense. And this could definitely clarify more of the fighting here. But you have to be careful with this one, because it could still be telling you to hold your ground and be who you are. Just make sure that you're not making a decision. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be love? You always want to make a loving decision. It doesn't mean giving up your boundaries to do so, but it just may not do you any good to just keep arguing about it. Just accept the differences and agree to disagree and let things go, because the constant fighting and overwhelm is not worth it, and we're seeing this here. Okay, so that is your past. So now let's see what you got going on in your present tense. Ooh, that's kind of confusing. But okay. Interesting. We got a few more cards and I'll start reading these. All right, I'm going to pull these up this way since you got your theme taking over the world over here. Okay, so we got the Fire King here. And he's good at solving challenges, solving problems, and he's about passionate and being successful. So that's looking good. So I don't know if some of this mess that you've been in, you've coming into a place of solving it. And you also have some wishes that are coming true. So interesting, despite all this, some wishes are coming true. Or it could even be this is leading to your wishes coming true, because this is the past that's painting your current circumstances. Because sometimes we have to go through the strife because things weren't working one way, and it just has to fall apart for things to fall together like they're supposed to be. So you might have that past painting that there. And you are being called to a spiritual calling, but you're not heeding it. Never good, guys. When you have a spiritual calling, you definitely want to heed that, because we see in your past here you haven't been being who you are. And to maintain success, you want to heed your spiritual calling always. So you want to maintain that. You could be getting your wishes come true right now, but you could lose them. So you got to be careful with that. So let's see if you got anything more going on in your current circumstances. Even like this pandemic right now, it's horrible, but it's bringing about a lot of changes. 2020 has got a lot of horror that we're facing, and it's painful and it's breaking us down, but it's going to bring about a lot of good changes that will ultimately benefit us, but it has taken this breakdown to get us there. I can actually put a card up here for my global blessings for 2020 tarot reading to kind of point back at that. Okay, so you're also wanting to start something new, it looks like here. But you've got some emotionals, probably from all of this past stuff that you've got to work through first before it can be a success. So there's something you have to let go of, and maybe even something that you might be grieving over a little bit. Understandable, seeing what you've been going through. So you definitely want to tend to those emotions. You want to work with your ego. See your ego as a toddler. If you see my videos, you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. The ego needs to be listened to, heard, and validated for its feelings, and loved for what it is. It was brought here and created to experience the contrast and the preferences from an emotional point of view. Validated, but you don't want to stay focused on that badge. You want to move forward from that. But you do want to honor those emotions. That is very important. Okay, and so yeah, we are experiencing a not interesting. You got your dreams coming true and your wishes coming true, but we're experiencing a non-happily ever after. So I'm going to gather from looking with you not being who you are, the ego is experiencing a non-happily ever after that it had its sights on. But your true wishes from your higher self are coming true. And then you got the Sun card, and it's upright. This means everything is working out. Your highest good in alignment, and will be definitely okay. And deep down inside of you, there's a part of you that knows this, because it is upright. If you didn't believe this, it would be reversed. So there you are with your current circumstances. So let go. Being called to something new, let go of the old, and the old happily ever after you had your eyes on, because that was not to work out. You got to turn that back around, come back to who you are, align with that higher self. That's really important, because your higher self knows where you need to go, because the source puts those desires within you. Your true desires, your pure, excited desires, joy-filled desires, not you want something because you're coming from a space of lack, because that's not a pure desire and that's not who you are. That's a fear talking. So you want to move from there, and that's what's going to bring you all your good in alignment, and that's what's going to bring you your true dreams coming true. So you want to heed the spiritual calling, guys. Okay, so that is your current circumstances. Now let's look at what's your next step. What steps can you take that will be in your highest good in alignment? And this is a message from your future self. Ooh, okay. Talking to us about that ego. Okay. What they're telling you to do is do not egoically jump for what you think your ego wants. You need to flip this one up and go for that which is ideal for you from your higher self. So they are warning you. I was seeing that here, in that not hitting that spiritual calling. They are definitely warning you about that. You want to move towards your vibe tribe, people that are in sync with you, people that align with you, because you have definitely been clashing with personalities and that has not been working out. You've got an entangled mess with people, clashing with those people, and you've hit the ultimate defeat with that. And your nightmares and your fears are really up front, and from that perspective you're creating what you don't want, the experiences you don't like, your contrasts that your non-preferences. So that's what you're going through right now, and you're experiencing with that overwhelm and again more of this fighting. So you want to move towards those that are in alignment with you, and so you're going to have to let go. Interestingly enough, even though we're fighting with someone, we can strangely get attached, because the ego, one, attaches its identity with its being with these people, because we've been with them for so long. Sometimes you want to let that go. And then here's a loving like father figure. So I don't know if you need to like step into this character yourself. You're going to tune into your relative story here again, or maybe you have a loving father figure that can help you with your situation. So maybe you want to turn to this loving father figure for guidance or assistance or help. So you have to tune again and see how that fits you. And that might be, since it's coming with the Vibe Tribe Peter card, might be a part of your aligned Vibe Tribe, and they're pointing out, hey, lean towards them, start going towards them, working with that, maybe heeding some of their advice that they're suggesting. So, and when I say father figure, it doesn't necessarily mean your father. If you don't have anything going well with your father, it could be someone that's like a father figure to you. So it could even just be a friend or a mentor or something of that nature. Okay, so let's see if we got anything more for your next step. Okay, that was quick. Okay. All right, so yep, we want to, you need to have faith. The universe has got you. I love this card because if you really look at it, you can see the kitty cat is like being overwhelmed with the ocean, but it has a secure land that it's standing on. Everything's going to be okay. So you're being assured that the universe has got you and everything's going to be okay. But they're warning you again when it's in reverse. Do not focus on your past failures, things that have happened in the past, and continue to perpetuate creating them with the reverse magician, creating your nightmares. You have got to get your thoughts off of those and start getting your thoughts on what you do want. And understand, please understand, you can have exactly what you want. So sometimes you can go through so much pain of things it's experienced that it doesn't like, it doesn't even believe it can have what it wants. Believe me, Source wants to experience the desires, the joy-filled desires it put in your heart. That is your natural given birthright, to experience your joyful desires. So definitely you want to get your thoughts off of the old, the past. You want to work those emotions, clear them, and let them go. Heal those emotions. A great book I'd love to recommend for this is The Habit of Breaking Yourself, or Break the Habit of Being Yourself. I'd like to mix that one up, by Joe Dispenza. Great book. There'll really be assistance there. It could really help you. Again, this is just like this card here with the ace in your current circumstances. A kitten is like starting a new adventure, but starting that new adventure, you've got some things to heal because it's reversed emotions. So you've got to heal the emotions, let go of the story, let go of the pain, and don't let that past story paint your future, where you have to perpetuate and continue reliving your future. You just heal those emotions, gain wisdom from it, and move forward. Move forward into your future is what you want to do there. Yep. And this is also letting you know that you are possibly looking at a stalemate, and you don't want to do that with this being reversed here. So you've really got to work through your emotions on this, guys. You've really got to put your thoughts on what you want and what you can have. And here again, move towards your desires. They're really affirming that. This is what your future self is telling you here. Move towards your desires. And they're letting you know, get your passions back. Here, this is the Queen of Fire. She's let go of her passions and she's letting it go. Like, move into those. You want to flip this card right side up. Get back into your passions and your joys. Okay, so let's move now forward. This is with the Mystical Cat Tarot. And we're going to go now with the Tarot Familiar to clarify your reading. And for those that have been with me in the past, I am no longer doing extended readings. I'm just clarifying in the current reading. So what I am to now is to make space to offer personal readings. So if you need a personal reading from me, you will find a link to that in the description box below. And I'm also running a giveaway this July that you can enter. And you can enter each week that I do the tarot readings if you would like to win a personal reading from me. So the details of how to enter that giveaway will be in the description box below, as well as in the comment box. So let's clarify. Now, your theme was about being patient, and I think that's about things that are getting ready to change. And they were also letting you know to not over-isolate with the pain and stuff that you're going through, and that they're letting us know that you've been clashing with other people. Your personalities have not been working together, so you've been unable to attain a common goal. And there's been some failure, and gosh, that ultimate defeat that you've gone through with the 10 in the sky in reverse. And then, of course, with the consequences card, which also represented Libra. I think I forgot to tell you that earlier, my bad. You're definitely a tangled mess, but tune into your particular story. If it's gone into legal issues, they look more promising for your side. And then, of course, your nightmares are up here in the forefront, and you're creating from that space with those fears. And you're not getting what you want. You're not getting the preferences. But you do have family support, and we saw that with that father figure too. And I mean, family doesn't necessarily mean blood. If you're not getting along with your family, so don't take it that way. It's those that are aligned, your vibe tribe. And you're going through a spiritual breakthrough. So you're going to come out successful. We did see that too. All right, and now I'm dropping cards. Great job for me. Okay. All right, so your clarification on that. All right, yep, so yeah, we're not navigating through challenges with ease at all with the way things are. And if we keep following ego, that's not going to happen. If we keep our focus on those fears and the pains, we can't navigate through the challenges. Listening to, in particular, stories. That's one. The other one is a possible, maybe you're looking at a move of residence. Maybe you're looking at a move in a business or a job. If you're looking at that, it's looking not, it's either going to be delayed or it's not looking too well. So something's going on there. So you got to tune into your relative reality on that one. Your relative story, my bad. Okay. And then the Seven of Swords, Seven of Sky. Yeah, okay. The more of that fighting and that focusing and perpetuating on it. We've got to get off of that. Okay, and then with the Seven of Swords, you've either experienced someone that has deceived you, which doesn't surprise me with all of this that's been going on. You have received, you've been going through that. So someone is not been playing authentic with you here. All right, and then we've got the Ace of Wands, which is trying to start something new with your passions, but you've either lost the passions with it, or starting something new needs to be delayed. And with all this emotional stuff going on with this person, I can understand. So it's like a not yet. But you are going to eventually want to do that, but you've got to clean this mess up first. And then we're also looking at the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, going back, we had this here, the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Reverse, same thing, in reverse, where you've been clashing and not working with the personalities. But then in your next best up, they were talking about getting into your vibe tribe. So this is kind of like an affirmation. You want to get in alignment with people you can work with, people that you can work together for a common goal. You may even have different traits, but you're vibing in the same type of alignment. So that's being reaffirmed there. And then the Four of Cups is kind of showing where you might be numbing out with some of your emotions because they're just so painful, and it's understandable. But that's what you definitely need to work through, is those emotions, because that's what needs to be healed, because emotions will keep you tethered to the current situation. So you got to heal those emotions, let go of the story, gain the lesson, learn the lesson, move from the story to move forward. All right, so that's your clarification with your theme. So now, looking at your past that is painting your current circumstances, we had the Queen of Sky show up reverse. So you got to choose your relative story, which is, are you being too cold-hearted because of all the stuff that's been going on, the understandable closing off your heart? Or are you dealing with someone that's being very cold-hearted with you, and that's maybe someone that you're clashing with and not your vibe tribe, the typical match that you're in with, and a part of the fears that you're dealing with? Or possibly are you emotionally attached to the person or the situation, and it's difficult to get out of that, which is very understandable. So that's also a situation there. And then you're not being who you are. You've been following ego because the ego is trying to survive, and that never works. So you want to change that one. And then you were invited to go within and work with your guides and angels or the deities of your choice. So I don't know if you did or did not, but you are experiencing overwhelm, and then definitely been fighting with people, going into possible righteous defense that needed to be held. There's a possibility. Did it go too far? Do you want to be loved or do you want to be right? And sometimes just love is accepting that people are different. They are being who they are. You need to be who you are. It's just not working out. We're clashing, and sometimes we just have to let go. So you have to look at that. Okay, so very clarifications coming in that one. So we've got the Nine of Cups. So interesting. You got the Nine of Cups here too with the Wish card and your present tense. So to me, they are affirming all of this crap that's going on is going to bring you into your wishes coming true. I think you're learning to be who you are, since in the past sense you weren't being who you are, and I think you're learning the lessons. And with you here watching this reading right now, that makes perfect sense, because you're, okay, that's the lesson. I got to stop listening to ego, and I got to start following the guidance of my higher self. Start following my heart, what feels good in the heart. So I think that's what's really happening there. And then, interestingly enough, you got the Queen of Swords upright. Ooh, they're like showing. And this is your future self talking to you, and it can bring this message through you guys. But this is really interesting because you had her in reverse here, showing your past, what's going on. But when she's upright, she can now make a logical decision and pull out of that story and make a more logical decision that's smart, because she's pulling out the story and pulling out all the emotions of the stories. So that's showing good. So it is kind of like you're seeing this reading now and you're realizing what you need to do. So that's really good. And then your guides are coming in here, and they're going to knock out anything that your ego is going to cling to and hold on to. And that's what the Tower is about. A lot of people freak out with the Tower. Don't freak out. That means whatever your ego is clutching to, that's going to keep you in defeat, keep you experiencing your fears and pains, they will knock it out for you. So you can actually be grateful. And that is what's bringing your wishes to come true. And then also you've got the King of Pentacles here in reverse. So like this is your past tense row too. Is where you fell off the throne. The materials and whatever you were trying to build, it just did not go into success. It just broke off. It just did not work. Fell off the throne there. So gotta let go of ego running the show there. And then you've got the Queen of Cups here. So I don't know, did you fail to listen to your intuition? And that's what you definitely want to do now, is you want to heed your intuition. And I don't know if you had this is like a loving mother figure here too. So coming in with your wishes coming true, things are getting better. You need to heed that intuition. You were invited to go within. And I think this is another affirmation. You start doing this, this is a positivity that's going to come from it. Okay, so now we're going to clarify your present tense. So you had the King of Fire, which was really interesting because that's show of success, achieving desires, fixing challenges, going into the passion, desires, and being successful. And then that your wishes are coming true because you got the Wish card. So your past is breaking you into that. But you do have a spiritual calling that you're resisting right now and not heeding. And my advice really is you want to heed that to keep those wishes maintained. And then again, you are like starting something new from the heart, but you can't be successful yet until you let go of all this past stuff first. You got to work with those emotions. And when you see that water, we're looking at emotions again. And that you had a happily ever after that you were working on that's not working out in your current circumstances, and that's from the past of what your ego is trying to build, and that's part of what you got to let go of. And when you let that go, you got everything working out in your highest good and alignment. The Sun card is here and is telling you, and deep down you know this, a part of you really knows this. There's a part of you that sees what's going on and is aware, despite even the ego part suffering. Okay, so let's get some clarification on this one. Oh, the Star card. So now that's coming up upright, being who you are. I really see you seeing this reading, guys, and you're hating it. Okay, and then the 10 of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah. All right, so you heed this. They are really talking, but see, this is your future self saying this. You heed this spiritual calling and be who you are. Because I told you, when you're not being who you are, when you're not hating it, then you're going to be able to build that legacy, family, business, and get it all, money, everything. You get it all together. That will be those wishes coming true. So that's great. And Ace of Pentacles, moving in that direction and being successful, starting that new. You got this new stuff starting. You just got to work through those emotions. You do all that, they are showing you the success of that. That's what they're doing. They're really affirming that. Okay, so let's clarify now your next step. What's your next step that's in your highest good and alignment? And these the messages definitely from your future self. So they're warning you, let go of the ego ideas. They are not working. Do not continue to jump with that. You want to cut that crap out, and you want to move towards your ideal things, and that you want to move towards your vibe tribe. So whomever you're clashing with, I think we need to part ways with whomever we're clashing with, guys. That's not working out for you. And then we've got to stop perpetuating that which we don't like, our pains and fears. This also represents Sagittarius, guys. I don't think I could help that with you on the first read on it. We definitely need to do that. Oh, and the vibe tribe too, I skipped this one, is you got a loving father figure, I think, that is a part of your vibe tribe. So I think you can turn to them for a little bit of that support and help, and they are a part of your vibe tribe. But we definitely want to stop putting our focus on the past and what's happened in the past and perpetuating that. And again, we're moving in that new direction with the kitten of the heart's desires. But again, we got to clear up those emotions, affirming that Ace too as well. And then there's a stalemate that I think that you need to look out for, especially if you hang on with these guys that are not a part of your vibe tribe. You're going to look at that. But you have the family support, and again, I think that points back to the father figure. So they're pointing, go for your family support, that's positive. And then you want to not let go of your passions, and you want to hang on to those. Be patient. Things may not happen as fast as you want, and you can lose your passion and desires. You don't want to do that. You want to hang on to your desires. Always move to your heart's desires. Always do that. Don't let that go. So those are your messages. Don't follow ego. Hold on to your heart's desires. Look towards your family support and your vibe tribe, and work with them and clear out some of those emotions so you can move towards your new journey there. Okay. So, clarification on this real quick. Okay, there's one. Let's see if we get any more. Yep. All right. Okay. So, 7 of Pentacles. Goes right back to your theme card. Be patient. Your harvest is coming in. You've been working on something, and if you're working on it spiritually, your harvest will come in. So that is their future. You're being told what to do. Do that and be patient. Is it going to happen overnight? You start doing the right steps today? No. But it will. Be patient. Stay consistent. Do not give up. Take these new steps. Do not give up and stay consistent. Okay. And then we've got the world, and everything will be right with your world. We've got that too. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do this. So then you've got the Knight of Pentacles here. So the Knight of Pentacles, that's a lack of family support. So interesting, you have them both. You have the family support. Oh, no, my bad. I read this right the first time, I didn't catch it. This is the Sky Tome. This was not about the family support. This is about moving towards your desires. Yes. Okay. My bad. I apologize for that, guys. I just glanced at it and didn't catch it. This card's kind of similar. Okay. So right here, the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a lack of family support, letting that go again. And I think that might be with whomever you're entangled in this tangled mess. So I don't know if there is family that you are fighting with. Immediate family or extended family. You want to let that go. 2 of Swords, you have a hard choice to make. And this one here is you don't like your current circumstances, they suck. And then the choice that you can make to get out of that sucks too, and you don't like that choice as well. You don't like either one of those. So it's difficult because they're both painful. I always say, make the choice that makes the change, because eventually once you make the change, that is going to lead to that which is good, and you're going to like that eventually. Be patient. You got the Lovers card coming in. So I don't know if your future self is telling you you have support from your lover, or maybe you have a new lover coming in. So I don't know. You will have to tune into your relative story on that one, but that looks good. And this also represents Gemini, so I don't know if that's relative to you being a Gemini or with whomever you're engaged in the situation. Tune into your particular story. And then you got the Six of Swords. Yep, we've been fighting with somebody, and this one is telling you to walk away. Leave it. You're done. Leave the fighting. It's got to stop. Walk away from these people. They're wasting your time. They're keeping you away from your desires and living the life you want to live. And you haven't been listening to your higher self, so this is a call to listen to your higher self. It's not working when you don't listen to your higher self. And that's that warning again here too. Do not jump for the ego. Do not forgo the higher self. They're warning you about that. So that's your future self warning you there. Okay. And then you've got the King of Cups. So that's a loving father figure again. Same one. Same exact card here. So you definitely got a loving father figure. So I think it's right up against that 5-trip card. So I think that's what you want to move towards. And then you've got the Wheel of Fortune. And that Wheel of Fortune is like, that is following your heart's path. So moving in towards, when you follow your heart's path, that's when everything is right with your Lord when you follow it, because that's what you came here to do, is to follow your heart's desires. And then they got the 10 of the sky. They're warning you. You've already experienced it. That showed up here. You've already going through that. And they're warning you, again, you follow that ego and you don't follow your higher self, that's going to lead you to here, keep you here, perpetuate here. Cut it out. Let it go. Surrender that ego's control. Surrender to your higher self. Sit down with your ego. Your ego does not like letting go of its identity. I'm an abused person, is an example. If I heal being an abused person and live a life where I'm no longer being abused, who I am ceases to exist. Death. That's how the ego sees things. You need to sit down with your ego, see it as a child, have a meditation, and go, I understand you think you're going to lose your identity. I understand you think you're going to die. You're not. We're just going to live as a better identity. You will still continue, but you will continue better. You will be a happy person instead of an abused person. You will be a healthy person, living your dreams instead of living your nightmares and living in hell. That's the conversation you need to sit down and have with your ego. And we can do that when we surrender to our higher self, and you let go of control of running this story and let our higher self make choices for us. So that's what you want to look at, guys. Okay, so let's get one more oracle card for you. Just a message for your overall reading. Don't have any new. Good, you're taking over the teeth. Whoa. Okay, you got two. Okay, so the first one you got is challenge your perception, because your ego sees things certain ways and it's not working. It's not working. Ego holding on to that identity, holding on to the survival, holding on to that which is familiar is not you creating the desired life that you want to live in. You can. You can have your wishes come true. You are like right on that edge of getting everything you want, but your future self is warning you. You could really throw it all away and get stuck and get in that stalemate of where you already are if you keep following that ego. So your future self is letting you know, this is the path, take that path. Move towards your higher self, surrender that ego. And then have courage. It's scary as hell for the ego to let go of control, let go of the familiar, and move to something uncertain, move to change. Get out of that comfort zone of just familiarity. It is scary as hell. But have courage and be patient. Remember, everything is going to work out in your highest alignment and good. Trust your future self. It knows what it's saying. Trust your higher self. Trust your angels. Trust your guides. Ask them for help. It makes it so much easier for them to cross their free will. All right, guys. I hope you found this reading helpful. I know it's not the best reading, but this tarot readings is what it's all about, is to read the current energies, see what's going on, to protect you from the future of things you do not like, so you know what to do and what steps to take to change things. And that's what this reading is all about, so you know what to do to safeguard yourself and protect you and get you living your dreams. Okay, guys? All right, so thank you for being with me. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate a like, because it helps me circulate my videos to others and reach them and help them as well. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. And if you'd like to join me, just hit that subscribe button and the bell notifications so that you'll know when my next tarot readings go out on Sundays. And then I have Wednesdays musings with Seqkat musings, that I call it, that series where I teach you how to do things that get in your joy and live in your joy, because that's what we came here to do, live in our joy. And then on the first week of the month, I also have the chakra clearings, which can help clear out your emotions. And I could recommend that one, actually. I'll put a card up here for the chakra clearing. That would be beneficial. That cleanses your aura, that cleanses your chakras, it grounds you, all 12 major chakras. It grounds you with Mother Earth, and then it come back and open up your heart chakra, which brings you into your power. So that would be very beneficial for you there. Okay, guys. Hang in there. Things are getting good. You have my compassion and empathy, but be patient. Hang in there. Things are getting better. Until next time, much love and light. Okay, welcome if you chose the Raven Totem. We will see what your theme card is from a message from your future self. What's your next step for the week of 12 July through 18 July 2020. And yours is Embrace Spirit. So let's see what the cards have got to say here. Okay. They're already talking here, guys. Okay, so you have the Emperor upright. So this is a sign of someone that's a loving father figure, and they are in their power. So that's looking good. And this also represents Aries. So keep in mind, guys, I do have this tuned to many of you. So you'll want to tune into your particular regulative story. So perhaps you are an Aries, or as the cards unfold with whomever you may be engaged in the situation is an Aries. So you'll have to tune in and see how this goes for you. And then we have the Queen of Sky, and she's in her power here because she's really good at stepping out of the story and making good logical decisions where she's not emotionally attached to anything and making some messy decisions. So that's looking good. All right, and you are being invited to go within and connect with your guides and your higher self and angels, but we might be resisting that. And that kind of shows up with the card saying, hey, embrace spirit. Hello, hey, embrace spirit. We're resisting it. Now, it could be, from what I'm seeing here, things are looking good thus far. It could be that things are okay right now, and they're going well, so I can just skip my spiritual exercises and connecting with spirit. And then your future self is saying, hey, you know, I know I've done it too. You know, I work with spirit a lot. I'm a very, very spiritual person, and sometimes I'll get lazy with it and never fails to kick me in the butt. And so then we have something here with the floating cat. There's something that we need to release and let go of. Maybe it's the activity of not connecting with spirit. Maybe that's what we need to let go of. We will see what the cards have to say as we continue on. We'll have to see what that. And here it looks like we might be kicking back here a little bit, enjoying some of the fruits of our labor. And that's always good. So, I don't know. Maybe, too, we're enjoying so much that we're ignoring spirit, but we need to get back in line with our spirit. So we'll just see what the cards have to say. So we're going to start now with looking at your past tense, and then how your past is affecting your current circumstances, and then we will see what's your next step that's in your highest alignment and good to take, and that those will be the messages from your future self. All right, so we got one card already showing up here. There we go. I'll go ahead and just keep shuffling and see what we get. And then start looking at cards for you. Here we go. They're coming out. Let me see if we get more. Oh, yeah. That one was already ready. Whoop, ready for you. All right, it. We shall see. Okay, let's give this a shot. I think we're good here. Okay, so we have the Hermit card here. Again, same message. You're getting ready now, embrace spirit, go within, connect with the gods, we're resisting it. Looks like in your past tense you were called to go within, spend a little time, connect with your guides, connect with your higher self. So I don't know whether or not you heeded that call, but that happened in your past tense. And also, again, tuning into your relative stories, this also represents Virgo. So I don't know if this is you, whomever the situation will unfold that you may or may not be engaged with. Okay. Ooh, yep. Okay. So you also have been deceived. We're dealing with some deception. So I don't know if you deceived someone or if you were deceived. You have to tune into your story on that one. So maybe because we didn't tune in and listen, we got deceived and fell for something. So we also may have experienced failure, but we were called to don't give up, keep trying. There's more efficiency. Sometimes we learn from our mistakes, and that's okay. So I don't know if you experienced that. And then you're being called to embrace a new journey, and you had success, and you were actually prepared and ready for that. You might have been a little timid about getting burnt, giving it a try, but that's what you were being called to do. So you have to tune in. You know whether or not you followed suit with that. We'll see what your present tense is. And then you were prepared. Again, that's just an affirmation that you were prepared for whatever that new journey was. You were ready to go for that. And then there was something you needed to let go of, with the Death card showing up. And this also represents Scorpio. So it could just be relative to you that you were a Scorpio, or whomever you're engaged in a situation as a Scorpio, or there's something you needed to let go of. Maybe that was possibly the idea of failure, that it would continue to perpetuate or something, or whomever deceived you, whatever deception that was going on. Or maybe you were deceiving that you were doing it. There was something you needed to let go of. So that is your past that we're looking at. That is where that was quite painting your current present. Okay, so got a few cards here for your present tense. Wow, they just all spilled out. One go. That was easy. Okay, so your present tense, you're not feeling your passions, guys. We had some passionate desires, but we're not feeling it anymore. We're losing it and letting go. Oh my goodness. Your past tense was not that bad, but your present, we're not following our intuition either, because we're resisting going within, and we're resisting embracing spirit. So yeah, we're coming off the spirit path, guys, and that's not making your present tense pretty at all. Looks like we're starting to follow ego. You were prepared and ready, but we just got derailed a little bit there with ego. And we've gotten ourselves into a situation where we're feeling trapped, and feeling this trap, you're being invited yet again to turn to, you got a lot of cards telling you this, call on the spirit, call on your guides, call on your angels, your higher self, those which are higher, whatever your deities are. You need to start working with those. And they're showing you to have faith, to stay strong. We got the strength card here showing up, and it's reverse. So we're not feeling it. We're not feeling it. So we've got to have faith, be strong, be courageous. This also represents Leo. So I don't know if this is you, with whomever your situations are, with whomever, maybe you're feeling trapped or whatever. Yep, and then we're in a charity situation that's not feeling good either. It's not symbiotic. So either someone is giving charity, but they have an ulterior motive, and that could go back to our deceiver. And or also it could be someone's receiving the charity, but they're abusing it. Again, going back to the deceiver, that could be going back. So you'll have to tune in whether or not, and tune in whether or not you are the giver or the receiver. We'd like to see this one upright, so symbiotic. and it's not. And then we got this one too, that we're trying to go off to a new adventure. We were prepared to start a new adventure. We definitely were. But now we've got to work through some emotions. Something got messed up. So we've got to work through some emotions before we can get going with that new adventure. Because we were not heeding to go within, we didn't hear our higher self. We didn't hear everything. And I think we heard ego and we followed that path. And that is completely derailing us. And yep, so we also, looks like we had someone that maybe was empowering us, maybe with this charity here, and maybe they're no longer doing that. And maybe because it was an ulterior motive, they were actually disempowering you, which is now going to bring you into your power. But you may could even stay friends with them possibly. And it looks like we might be numbing out from our emotions with the situation, but losing our passions. We could also just simply be experiencing apathy or boredom. So we got derailed somewhere. So that's our present tense. So let's see what our future selves can tell us to get back on board and get things aligned again. And if you hear that meowing in the background, that'd be one of my kitty cats called Jasper, who wants to be fed, but okay, so this is your row for the message. What's your next step to take this in your highest alignment and good message from your future self? So let's see what we got going here. Okay, got some cards unfolding there already. So we'll start with that. Okay. So they're telling you to definitely follow your higher self. Come on, your current circumstances, I'm not surprised. And if you follow your higher self, that always works out. Yep. And we're not feeling family support. This could be like a father figure, and this could be like a mother figure. So I don't know if, and this can also be a mother figure too. So I don't know, maybe the charity from the family. So we're not feeling family support. So I don't know if they're letting you know, let go of that family support because it's not working out for you. Maybe your family's just not in alignment with you. You're going to have to tune into your relative story for that one, guys, to see how that particularly regards with you. You definitely have some more preparation to make, skills to acquire, to do, or something to learn to do what you need to do. And maybe it is learning that your family is not there to support you, but you need to align with your higher self. And things are not feeling right with your world the way things were going. So we want to flip that upside down, guys. We really do. We want things to be right with our world. So let's see if we can get a little bit more to help us here. Okay. Okay, so we got this card here where we're feeling balanced. But we're being warned, do not argue, and this is probably to keep us in balance. Do not argue with somebody that cannot see your perspective. So yeah, this family support and all these mother cards and father cards being in reversed, this is starting to show me. So maybe it's not necessarily the exact scenarios that are going on. Maybe they're showing me a lot of this family not working. Okay, so what's going on? Whomever you're engaged with, it's not working out. They have their perspectives. They have their paradigms. They have their beliefs. You have your perspectives. You have your paradigms. You have your beliefs. They cannot comprehend yours. Even if you're able to comprehend theirs and see it from a neutral perspective and understand it, it is not necessary for you to buy into their beliefs and values and let go of yours. You need to hold on to your values. So this card invites you to stop trying to, it may be a conquering of each other. Hey, you see my side, you see my side. Own my values, own my values. Gotta stop that. You gotta love them and let them be who they are, but you gotta love yourself and let you be who you are too, and accept that you cannot get them to see your ideas. They cannot hear you. It's like teaching a kindergarten or algebra. They don't get it. They're not gonna get it, so don't waste your time with that anymore. So that's a future self. Do not waste your time trying to get somebody to understand you. They can't. And we might be pointing at that family with that lack of family support. Yep, again too. Family legacy not working out. This is really pointing at your family, guys, especially with the present tense. So this makes more sense now. When I was reading those present tense cards and they're all showing up, I'm like, this wasn't that bad. You're prepared to start a new journey, but it looks like we're talking about our family. Okay, so you are being told from your future self that you can navigate through these challenges with ease. That's one of you for tuning into your relative story. And or there is a possibly, and it could be both, and or it could possibly be a move in residence. So maybe you're living with your family members right now and it's not working and you got to get the hell out. And a moving is coming. And if it is, that looks positive and that looks good. Move in that direction. Okay. So, yep, here we go. We're experiencing some confusion, and you thought maybe your family was there for you, and you were seeing things from a different perspective, and boy, it makes sense with feeling trapped with the family. That makes perfect sense. And now your bubble's been popped. And you see the real things, like, oh man, this wasn't what I really thought it was. So, I'm really sorry, guys, for what you've been going through. And yep, we got to rein in the ego. So the ego might have thought it could trust circumstances, and it wasn't. And see, we didn't heed that call to embrace spirit, to go within, hear our higher self, and we listen to ego, who's all about survival. So yeah, and sticking to that which is familiar. We've got to rein that in. We can't be doing that. And this also represents Cancer, as it is the Chariot card. So I don't know if that's you. Tune into your other story with whomever you're engaged in the situation. And then we also got, tangled mess with people. And it looks like we are in a tangled mess. We're feeling trapped. And again, with the family cards and all these parental cards showing up, the mother and the father figures, I'm having a feeling it's there. Tune in to see how that fits you. And yet another mother figure. So now this is the mother figure that we want to embody, maybe for your own characteristics. The mother figure that's got her stuff together, because she does heed her higher self. She's one to turn to good counsel and wisdom. She knows how to run her own family, run her own business, and do her own thing. So maybe you've been listening to advice from your family and instead of listening to spirit about being who you are. So it'll be interesting to see how we clarify this and see if that shows up in the clarification. So we just did the reading now with the Mystical Tarot. So now let's clarify with the Tarot Familiar and see if we can get some really clear answers on that one. So if you haven't followed me in the past, I'm no longer doing extended readings to make room space for personal readings. So if you need a personal reading, you will find a link to that in the description box below. And I'm also running a giveaway for the month of July where you can win a free personal reading. So you can check out the details of how to get into that in the description box below, as well as the comment box. Okay, guys, so you might have saw a little blip there as I dropped half the deck. So I saved you all the viewing of picking it up. All right, so you had your theme card, Embrace Spirit. And you did start out good, that you were in your power. Maybe you were in your power. Maybe you moved back in with your family. I'm not sure. But that was a good father figure card that was showing up with the Emperor. And that also represents Aries. And then you also had the Sky Queen showing up, right? And that was looking good. She makes logical decisions. So that was really looking good. Not getting all bottled up in her emotions. But there was something you needed to let go of. And you were enjoying the fruits of your labor. But you were also called to go within and do some meditation, but we resisted. We were resisting that. Maybe we're resisting it now because that's not necessarily timed in the past. So that's what we're looking at in that situation. But your past, you were definitely called to go within. So let's go back now and clarify before we move on to that. So here we have the High Priestess card. So this is telling us to listen to our intuition. You're really being called by Spirit, guys. That is just being reaffirmed and reaffirmed. Spirit is calling. Time to heed and listen to Spirit. Queen of Pentacles again. That's the same thing as the Queen of Earth. If you heed that Spirit, then you can get your shit together, so to speak. Because she's got her stuff together and she can get everything together. So listening to Spirit is what's going to help you doing that. Listen to ego. Ego will derail you with survival needs, sticking with familiar, doesn't want to stretch out of the comfort zone, but it always it eventually leads to demise, destruction, things not working out. Four of Cups again. Yeah, so that one showed up here in your current circumstances that we're feeling apathetic and boredom, but this could stand out, that we could really lodge down into that and get into some real apathy, and we want to avoid that, guys. We do not want to get that far. And then the Two of Fire. You have a decision to make, a very important decision to make. And ego or spirit? Which one, guys? You got to choose. And I can always tell you from much, much personal experience, as well as all the spiritual research I've done, spirit always wins. You come out thriving in spirit. I can definitely tell you that. So now let's clarify your past, which you had the Hermit card show up, which was a calling to go within. Don't think we probably hated that. I'm not sure. And that also represents Virgo. And then you also had the Seven of Sky show up, which means somebody deceived you. And then we had the Five of Cups show up. So we had some failure, but you were being called, don't give up. Don't let that failure mess up. There's more fish in the sea. Don't let that stop you. And then we also had the Fire Kitten show up. So we were you were prepared to start a new journey. I don't know if you followed it, but you were prepared. And then you had the Three of Fire show up too, showing that yes, you were definitely prepared. You were just we got your back, we're supporting you, but there was something you needed to let go of. And I don't know if you let it go. But that was also in your theme card, letting go. So maybe it was the family based on some of what we've seen come out. All right, so your clarification, and this also represents Scorpio again. So tune into your registry how that fits and applies to you. Okay, so we've got the Hanged Man, which is the same thing as the Floating Cat, coming up right here next to this, something to let go of. And then we got the Nine of Cups, so you can have your wishes come true when we let this go. So as we go back and clarify, we'll have our past tense. Sometimes they reaffirm what we can start changing, and they'll give you those positive answers. Five of Swords, the same thing that showed up over here with the Five of Sky. Same as that card. Showing in the past, you were already arguing with somebody, they were either trying to conquer you to buy into their values, or maybe you were trying to get them to see your side and they cannot see and understand your side. And that just does not work. Does not work well at all. And then you're being called to be who you are, and that's listening to your higher self, listening to your spiritual guidance. Don't know if you followed that or not. I'm not so sure that you did, but that's what your calling was. And do heed to that now, guys. And then the Four of Cups is shown here too, which is gosh, not listening, getting that apathy. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, again, definitely doing that. All right. So that's your clarification on that. So now let's go into your present tense, which is losing passion. So, okay. I'm reading the cards as they are, but I'm seeing more so that I think we got entangled with a family here. So I don't know what the situation was here, because we got the Queen of Fire in reverse, the Queen of Sea in reverse, and then we've got this Eight of Sky upright, showing that we are feeling trapped, but we just need to heed spiritual advice. And we need to have the strength to heed that spiritual advice with the courage, courage and strength card showing up here. This also represents Leo. She's losing her passions. She's not listening to her intuition, or maybe not being that loving mother figure, or maybe a burning fire mother figure. So you have to decide how this story is relative to you. Somebody's receiving charity, but it's not symbiotic. Maybe somebody has an ulterior motive. Maybe if it is parents supplying for you, because the ulterior motive is they want you to do things and make choices that will please them. You didn't come here to please your parents. You came here to be who you are, and you have to be your unique self. And we're wanting to start something new, but we have emotions and grief to deal with before we can deal with that. And then we've got a father figure here that maybe is disabling us, perhaps with this skewed charity. I'm not sure. But you have to let them go, and that's going to bring you into your true power. And we're hitting some boredom here and apathy. So yeah, we got that going on. So yeah. So definitely there. All right, guys. So we got that Two of Swords showing up, that we have to make a decision and avoid going into the stalemate there, guys. We do not want to go into stalemates. We might feel like we're going to go into a stalemate with our parents. If we keep holding on to try and argue with them, that's not going to work, guys. All right, let's see if we get any more for your clarity here in your present tense. Yeah. Coming back to that family, guys. A piece of hair, sorry guys. Okay, I think that's going to be it here, basically, looking at these cards here. Okay, so what they're showing me here is you got that choice to make, ego or spirit. And I think that choice is going to let you know whether or not, you can still make with your current situation, and we want to avoid that. Again, the Empress now is showing up here, and she's in reverse. So I don't know, too, since you have the Emperor up here in your theme card, if you have quarreling parents possible. Very possible. And this is, when she's a very loving mother, she makes her children self-empowered and lets her children make decisions and be who they are. So you could be looking at a very opposite of that, a mother figure who uses her children to make herself happy and wants her children to make decisions to make her happy. And I've seen a lot of these mother figures here. And it's not very good. This is still a loving father figure that could have been empowering you, but when they you have to let them go and enabling you and empowering you and come into your own power. And this was talking about being in your own power, so you might have the support of your actual father. So things are starting now to actually zero in on the possible mother. So tune into your relative story here. And or it's possible that you need to give yourself some mothering care and some self-love with what your current circumstances are if you were reading the cards directly for what they represent. You do have the Sun card showing up, and that is good. That means everything is going to ultimately work out for your highest good and alignment, even with your current circumstances and the current mess you're in. You're not believing it, though, because it's showing up in reverse, and looking at your current circumstances, I can understand that. And then you do have the King of Fire showing up here again. So the father figures are showing up more supportive than the mother figures. So you might be having an issue with the mother figure, and the father may be having an issue with the mother too. I'm not sure about that. But your father figure here is supporting you and is one that can solve challenges and solve problems, but you have to let go and come into your own power. And the Emperor is about being in your own power as well too. So you have to look at that, see how that refers to you on that one. So tune into your relative story, how that fits for you. Okay, so now let's clarify what's your next step. The steps that you can take that's your highest alignment and good, and the messages from your future self. And one, they were telling you, you need to listen to your higher self and follow the guidance of your higher self. And in order to do that, you're going to have to embrace spirit. Stop resisting that. I can't get rid of this piece of hair. I apologize, guys. There we go. You embrace spirit and heed it. And they were talking about that lack of family support that you're having, and that you're gaining and acquiring skills, and that conquering, you got to just let them go. Love whomever. So like if your particular situation is you got a mother figure that wants you to be a certain way, and she cannot understand your differences, and she's not going to, don't try to conquer her to continue to try to do it. She can't do that. She can't hear you. But love yourself. You do not have to buy into her values at all. Okay. So we have that going on, and then we had things do not feel right in the world right now with this particular strife that you have going on, so understanding it. And then to get yourself back into balance, your cards went on to continue to say, it was showing out that you're going to have to let go of the family legacy that you perhaps thought you had with your family, which is pointing out that type of family is more like your mother. But you will navigate through your challenges with ease. Your future self is telling you that. And if it's in particular, and it may be you'll navigate through your challenges through ease through a move from your residence. So that charity that's not right, you might have to move out if you're within that family, or move out of the situation, the conflict and everything, all of that. So you'll have to look at that too. All right, and then your bubble's been popped. You thought things were a certain way, but they were not. And you're realizing what they really are now. And you got to rein in your ego. And the ego can get involved in that arguing and fighting, or following those choices that your ego is like, oh, but this feels safe because it's familiar, because it's survival. You need to let that go. And then being in that tangled mess It's really showing up. It's showing up in reverse. And I didn't even catch, this is also Libra, and I don't think I said that last time. I didn't even catch really this reversal. If you have possibly gotten in a legal issue, you may not be looking good, and I'm really sorry for that, guys. But then your future stuff is like you want to get your stuff together with this Earth Mother, or Earth Queen, and that showed up in your theme as well, because but she listens to Spirit. She gets all her stuff together, and she can run her family, and she can run her business, and she can get it all together. She's going to turn to wise counsel, so that's what you want to look at. You also have the King of the Fire Kitten showing up again. Knave of Wands. You are prepared to do something new. Do it. I don't know if you followed it in your past. You may have listened to your mother, perhaps. You're prepared. You may be scared to get burnt, and that's okay. You got to step out of your comfort zone. But go for it. The universe is supporting you on that. And that's what your future stuff is telling you. Go for it. And see what else we can get. Whoosh! There you go. Okay. Alrighty. Queen of Swords. They gotta let go of emotional attachment or let go of a cold-hearted mother. So then everything will be right with your world. Because you're the same one. We didn't have things working out right with the world, where we're trying to argue with this person and conquer it. That wasn't working out. Let go with an emotional attachment too. It could be an emotional attachment as well. You gotta let that go. And then everything will be right with your world. And then with the Ace of Swords here, this is showing a little bit of confusion. And so like when you gotta get out of your comfort zone, that's very understandable, because that's what makes it difficult for the ego to get out of that comfort zone, is because it thrives on on that which is familiar, because it feels safer, because it knows it can survive that which is experiencing currently, and it's not sure it can survive something a new experience. So that's what that's about. And then you've got the Queen of Cups here, and she's upright, and this is like a heed, going back to your spirit. This is like heed your intuition, because she's the most psychic of the tarot. So yeah, definitely you want to heed the intuition. So you've really got spirit talking to you guys, and really spirit calling you, and your best stuff that you can do is heed it, because it'll lead you to your thriving. Okay, so let's wrap this reading up with one more oracle card, or more, sometimes more than one jumps. We'll see. And Jasper's meowing. You know, he's right. It is time to eat. We're almost done there. All right. Here we go. Guys. Okay, right. This is a message from your future self. Follow the moon. Moon's all about intuition. Heed your intuition, guys. It keeps coming up. Embrace spirit. Heed intuition. And you'll be okay. Everything will work out for you. Everything will come into your highest alignment and good. Okay, guys. So hopefully this reading was very helpful for you. It's to show you what you can do to make anything that's not working out for you, show you what you can do to get things working more and towards your preferences. And you really can have your preferences. You can have all your desires and everything that you want. So if you found this reading helpful, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. That helps me circulate my videos out into the YouTube world to reach out and help other people. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you with me. And if you'd like to join me, just hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll know when my next tarot reading goes out next Sunday, or my Seqkat musing series I do on Wednesdays, which give you tidbits on how to get in your joy and live in your joy, because that's what we came here to do, and that's my goal in life, is to help people live in their joy and remind them that you can live in your joy and that you can live your dreams, because the society cannot bangs on us and our ego forgets we can thrive. So I'm here to remind you that. And then also on the first Wednesday, I do a chakra clearing that does all 12 chakras and grounds you and then come back up and open up your heart chakra too, which brings you back into your power. Okay, guys. So until next time, much love and light. Okay, welcome if you chose the Wolf Totem. Let's see what your theme card is for this week for what's your next step, your message from your future self for the week of 12 July to 18 July 2020. And this one is love that you're different. So let's see what the cards got to say here. That's one I highly support, because we came here to be different. And society kind of bangs onto us to be the same. But we actually came here to be the unique perspective the Source created us to be. And Source loves us as so. So should we? All right. Aww. We'll see if we got any more here, and then I'll start reading them. Man, I'm gonna mess up the shuffling right now. Okay, here we go. Oh, gosh, guys. Oh. I'm really sorry. Okay, love that you're different. And the first one that's showing up here is the Five of Sky in reverse. So the Five of Sky represents to me that, okay, we got two different people having two different paradigms, values, and beliefs. And usually when it's upright, we're like trying to conquer the other to understand us and or adopt our perspectives and values. And we need to respect and choose love. Love allows each of you to be different and understand that one or both of you can't understand that perspective or adopt that value. And when it's in reverse, it really is coming down to, do you want to be loved or do you want to be right? So it looks like you've been going through it with it, guys. So you have to love that you are different. So somebody, I think, is wanting you to be like them, and definitely hold that love. And the way to be love versus being right is accept that they have their values and their beliefs and paradigms that are different from yours, but love yourself too, that you have yours, and maintain your values, and just agree to disagree. Basically there. And so yeah, we have to let go of this need of fitting in with them. They're making you feel like you're not good enough, perhaps, from what I'm picking up on this. And keep in mind, I do have this attuned for many of you, whomever comes here to see and choose this totem. So you're going to have to choose your relative story as I go along. And it looks like we didn't have a happily ever after, and someone was abandoned. And we are really in grief here, and perhaps dealing with a loss with this situation. And it looks like it was someone that we just couldn't. Maybe we lost them because we were different, and maybe we're beating ourselves up because we were different, since this card is here. But we just have to let go, because if someone can't love you for who you are, then they're not right for you. It doesn't matter who they are, whether this be a parent, a sibling, a friend, a coworker, or even a romance partner. We have to love ourselves for who we are. We did not come here. And the best way, the easiest, simplest way to look at it, would you want every single person to be exactly like you? Look exactly like you, think exactly like you, talk exactly like you? One, we couldn't procreate. I mean, we came here to be different. Source came here to enjoy things from unique, different perspectives. And think about when you watch a story or a movie, you have all these different characters, and it's the different characters interacting that make it fun. And being everybody a clone, that's really boring. So do love yourself for being different. So that's our theme. I'm sorry, guys, you're kind of going through there. So now what we're going to do is look at a row that's going to show you your past, that is going to affect our next row, which is what you're currently going through. And then we're going to look at what your next step is, that is in your best and highest alignment, and that will be the message from your future self. So let's see what's happened in your past here, guys. I'm already seeing some of it with your theme here, and I'm really sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see if we get any more cards here, and then I'll start reading them. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, I think we're good there. Okay, so let's start reading the card. Yep, we're definitely not with our vibe tribe. We are not, whomever we've been with in this situation, we are not aligned with it. And it's okay. You don't have to be aligned. We feel like we have to fit in. But the ego sometimes wants to fit in just for the sake of fitting in and sacrificing itself or being itself. And you cannot do that. You've got to be who you are and find your vibe tribe that aligns with who you are. So that's what you've been going through in your past here. Yep. And getting into such fighting and righteous defense for yourself to be who you are. And it looks like that issue of do you want to be loved or do you right is coming up again, especially in that situation as well. But you want to hold your ground and be who you are. That's really important. When this card is showing up here with the Seven of Fire. And then we are trying to make a new start. It looks like we were trying to do that. That was looking promising and successful. And it looks like our guides came in and knocked something out. So maybe they knocked out that you were with this person or persons. And that's good because what the ego doesn't like the Tower. Because ego doesn't like change. And ego doesn't like things like knocked out from it. But what they do is they knock out what ego's holding on to that's not working for you. That's just going to continue to lead you down a road of demise, destruction, things not working. Because they're here to help you thrive, which ego struggles with believing it can do that. And so they're trying to knock out the situation because there was not being a happily ever after. There was abandonment. And you were really suffering here with loss. And this is some grief that you're going to have to deal with emotionally and work with your ego. Comfort it, validate its feelings. I always say, if you've been following me, see your ego in meditation, see it as a toddler. It is a toddler. It never grows up. It doesn't understand. It needs you to hear it. Let it tell you its pains. Let it tell you its fears. And then you need to validate it and tell it you have every right to feel this way and love it and give it a hug and assure it that you will be there for it. But don't let it stay mired in just constantly thinking about the past over and over again and perpetuating the circumstances and the feelings of living through it over and over again, because that's the health that you need to validate it, but then heal those emotions and move forward. And it looks like you may have even come to the point, maybe you're working on like trying to numb out here in the past because this has just been a little bit too much, but you're not too far gone. It was like a temporary state there. No, I'm really sorry, guys. Y'all have been through this. I'm really sorry to see this. So now let's see what you got going on in your present situation right now, your present circumstances. Okay. Ooh, oh boy. Give me some cards here. Okay. So, oh man, that is a little sneaky. Well, y'all got some cards in your present here. Alright. Oh my, did y'all get the cards in the present tense? I was going to save room for my other row. Hang in here, guys. Let me get these spelled out for you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Let me do it that way. Okay, guys. All right. So looks like we might have some abundance issues here, perhaps. Maybe some issues with money. I'm not sure. But we're staying focused on. It may not even be money. It could just be like it feels like a great lack, and it could be just even a lack of love, especially with their losses. And what happens is with all this pain, you're thinking about it a lot and you're staying focused on it, which is going to continue to perpetuate it. And it just even perpetuates it in your mind and your body, and you've got to move forward and get out of that. And you're experiencing a lot of overwhelm, and looking at your past situation, I can definitely understand that. And perhaps going through a feeling of being trapped. With the demon cat coming up, the devil card, and this also represents Capricorn. So again, tune in of how this is relative to each of your relative stories. So this card just could be showing up to say, hey, Capricorn's involved. That could be you, could be someone else that's involved in your situation, or it could be representing being trapped. And that reminds me too, I'm sorry, with the death card, this represents Scorpio. So again, the same situation. So tune in whether or not that's just showing up. But I do think this also represents loss there too. Okay, and then we have the Sky Queen coming up here. Now she's upright, so it's good to see her because she can like emotionally detach and make some logical decisions. So I don't know if you're trying to do that, and that's good if you are. And here we are working well with some different personalities, and we're using those different traits and abilities of each of us, working together to attain a common goal. So you've been in some lack of vibe tribe with somebody, but something's working out with someone here. So that is good. And then we got and maybe it could possibly be a mother figure or family that we are vibing with there and working out, because that's coming in right behind it too. And then of course the Sky Queen, she can be a mother figure too. So you might be doing well with family there, because the Earth Mother, she's a mother. She's got her stuff together. She runs her family really well and runs her business well. It could be your attributes and your energies too. So you're going to have to tune in, because each of you have your different stories. And then you have, like, this is showing family support. So I don't know if this is your immediate family, extended family, or what, but you do have some family support here. They're encouraging you to have courage, have strength, and hold on to that. And you're struggling here with all this overwhelm that we're feeling, and this fighting that we're feeling, and this loss that we're feeling. So we're struggling to have that, and it's understandable. But they're really assuring you to just hang on and have faith. And this also represents the Leo, whether that be you or whomever you're engaged with in the situation. And actually, as painful as it may feel and overwhelming, everything is right in your world. Things have happened. Sorry about that, guys. Oh gosh, Lily. I have a kitty cat that likes to tap her own tail. I wish she would do that. Lily, be nice. Don't do that, sweetheart. This gets you distracted. I apologize for that, guys. So everything is right in your world. It's messed up as it feels, and I apologize for that. But you're learning, I think, to accept and love who you are, being different. And the experience you've gone through with whomever you've been dealing with is actually teaching you that. So you have some little preparation to make to move into a new direction, and you're being invited to move in that direction. And it could be just working now with the emotionalities of this, with things being, working through the grief and the loss, and working through the feelings of lack and changing your mindset and feeling trapped. And some of that trapment can be actually being trapped in that mindset, the perpetuating of constantly reliving those bad memories over and over again. And that feeling of abandonment. Abandonment is the toughest one to heal, guys, so I understand. So get some help. You might need to even get some coaching. And you're definitely being encouraged here with this guide time to move towards your goals and towards your desires. Move towards your heart's desires. That they come from source. They come from your higher self. Trying to keep the kitty safe from herself. They come from your higher self, and that's always the direction you want to move into. And yeah, here we go. We got the High Priestess coming in here, and this is definitely an invite to move into some healing and listen to your intuition, which guides you into healing too, because that healing is definitely needed. And we're going through a little bit of this is this guy. So we're feeling a bit quite a bit of confusion right now. That's definitely understandable. With this overwhelm and change, and with that tower coming in that happened in your past, so you guys have knocked things out, so you're like probably teeter-tottering on some big changes here, and you definitely have a decision to make. Is something unexpected kind of happened and erupted in your life and is leaving you in place, and it could be this tower with the guides knocking things out that might have been unexpected to you. So definitely you have to make a decision now based on that. So that's where you are, guys. Oh, that was a big present circumstances. Lily. I do apologize. Lily. Lily. Don't hurt yourself, sweetie. You silly kitty. For those of you that have cats, I like trivia. Cats move their tail. They actually move it, Lily. They actually move it unless they're angry. It moves on its own. The cats aren't moving it. And so when some cats get irritated by it, it's because they see this thing moving behind them and it won't stop moving. It's only when they're angry that they thump it on their own and actually take control over it. She's very upset about this tail right now. You can't see this, fortunately, but I apologize for this disruption. Okay. And some more. I'm going to pull up more cards, guys, and then start reading them here. Now remember, these are what's your next step. And so these are the choices, the steps to take in the best and highest alignment. And these are messages from your future self. Oh gosh, guys. Hoo-hoo. That's good. That's very understandable. I think that is going to actually cover it right there. All right, guys. So, that choice to make. It's coming up again here now with the Two of Sky. And so, when this shows up right here, this tells me one thing. You're in a bad place right now and you don't like where you are. This is like the hard place in a rock. And you have a path that's going to make a change. And that's your other choice. You're stuck where you are, or you've got to make that choice. But you don't like where you are, and you don't like the change is going to get you out of it. And I always advise with this one, take the change, because you may not like that first initial step with it, but it's going to eventually lead you to where you want to go. So your future self is saying, make the change. Make the change. That decision, do the one that makes the change. Okay. They're letting you know that you have hit ultimate defeat, but, you're on the rock bottom here. But it's coming to an end. So that is the good news. It is actually coming to the end. But, and they're talking about here too, all of your fears and nightmares and pains, they have come into your relative reality, and that is showing up here, okay? But that has definitely come to an end. The good news is everything is working out in your highest alignment and good. You may feel abandoned by this person with whom you've been engaged with, but it's actually working out in your best. Interest, yes. What's the word I'm looking for here? It is actually working out in your best interest. And this is going to teach you to unite with people that you are aligned with and love who you are as being different. So this is what you are absolutely learning. And everything is going to work out in your highest alignment and good. You have some healing to do. They are letting you know that everything really is right now right with your world. It may not feel like it, but it definitely is. But you have some healing to do. Okay, so that was the Mystical Cat Tarot. So now we're going to clarify with the Tarot Familiar. So we'll do that now. And for those of you that you have been following me in the past, I am no longer doing any extended, so I'm doing the clarifications right here in the readings to make room and time to do personal readings. So if you need a personal reading, you will find a link to that in the description box below. And I'm also doing a giveaway for the month of July where you can win a personal reading. So if you would like to enter that giveaway, you can check the description box below for the details on how to do that. But we already have one flipping here. And also the comment box for that as well. Okay, so we're clarifying your theme, which is love that you were different. And that we see that we were trying to conquer someone, or someone was trying to conquer us to maintain the values and beliefs and paradigms that we have. I think more they were trying to push you. So looking at that one, looking at that your love that you were different. So I think someone was trying to push you in that regard. So, and then you have to let go. We're seeing that card. We did not have happily ever after. And then we were seeing some abandonment issues here. And then we're grieving with some loss here. And you got to validate and work with those feelings there. Okay. So we've got the King of Swords here. So he's good at solving problems and situations and challenges. And he's good at being also not caught up in that story, kind of like the Sky Queen, you know, coming into a neutral perspective. So he is good at that. So that looks successful. So I'm going to lean on that one. And then we have the Justice card here in reverse. So yeah, we kind of got a tangled mess here, guys. We really did with this person. It wasn't working out. If there were legal issues involved, it doesn't look good. And I'm really sorry if that is the situation there. We definitely need to let this person go. And this also represents Libra. Again, so tune into your relative story. This card could just be showing up to say, hey, Libra, you're the Libra, or whoever you're working with is Libra. So you're going to have to tune into your particular story there. And again, just remind you of that death card that showed up, that represents Scorpio, so tune in that too. And then you have the Nine of Swords. Yep, that's the same thing here. Your nightmares and visions and fears, they showed up, and you definitely have experienced that. So that's showing up again for affirmation of that one. And then you got the Ace of Wands. So you got something new coming for your passionate desires, and that is what you want to move towards. So don't let all of this knock you out. We're reading current energies, but we're looking at where to go to make things better. And then you have something new coming in here, and it's coming in pretty fast. And again, and this is coming right back with this Ace of Swords. So Ace of Wands, my bad. So that's, again, a passionate desire, something new coming in there. So you're going to have to love who you are to follow your passionate desires and let that work for you. So yeah, so that's really good to see and seeing that come upright. And this is the Chariot card, so it also represents Cancer. So tune in whether or not you are a Cancer or whomever you're engaged with in the situation is a Cancer. Okay, so there's your clarification on your theme. So now going back to your past situations, you were definitely not with your vibe tribe with this person, and that's obvious with your theme. That's definitely showing up. And then the fighting, and you had righteous defense there, but it might have got to the point where you have to be loving, being right. And the same thing with that Five of Sky in reverse. You just have to choose love, let them be who they are, but love yourself for who you are. You don't have to adopt their values. You can be true to yourself. And then starting something new too with the Ace of Pentacles that looks successful. So moving towards that new desire thing, that does look good. And your guides came in and knocked something out, and I think may have separated you from this person. And the ego might be struggling with that, and you might be numbing out there with the Four of Sea there too, trying to deal with all this pain, which is understandable, but we gotta heal those emotions, guys. It's really important to heal the emotions. Very important. And then leave the story and then move forward. And so we have the High Priestess here. Yep, telling us again about healing that's needed. That showed up in your present tense here. The same thing here. So they're doing that. This is your past. And sometimes they start affirming things that you need to do from your past when I go back and reaffirm it. And the Ace of Swords, you're going through a spiritual breakthrough. That's what this past was for. It's why your guides came in to kick out. And that spiritual breakthrough is you are different. You are unique. And it's perfectly fine. And you've got to let go of that emotional attachment to this person. It did not turn out to be what you thought it was going to be. It wasn't meant to be. If somebody's not letting you be who you are, then they are not right for you. So you've got to let that go. So you got to let go of that vibe tribe. And that you had the same card, the Floating Cat, the same thing as the Hanged Man. And reverse is showing me emotional attachment. We don't want to let go. The ego wants to hold on because the ego wants to hold on to that which is familiar for survival reasons. And that's why. And then you've got the Ten of Swords. You know, same thing here. It's just a Ten of Sky here. Same thing, that ultimate defeat, but it's coming to an end. But you've gone through this here in your past. So definitely showing that here. And then the Five of Pentacles again. Yep, that shows up being left out in the cold, and you had reversed in your theme, showing that abandonment. So they're affirming that. And then the Queen of Swords. So you know, like you have that in your present tense too. So I don't know if they're trying to encourage you in your present tense or maybe you are trying to do it, and maybe you were starting to do it in your past, or they're reaffirming here too. You want to step up out of that story, get out of those emotions, and try to make some logical decisions that will benefit you. And then you've got the 5 of Fire too, which shows more that fighting again, that competition, and then just riff-rapping with those people. That's not working. So that's your past. Your past was not pretty, which is affecting your present tense, which is not that pretty either, guys. And I'm really sorry about that. All right, so we're going to clarify your present tense. Now you had a load of cards here. So we're dealing with perpetuating a lack of some type. It could be abundance, it could be love, it could be getting along with someone. And we're perpetuating because we're really staying focused and going over our memories and just reliving it over and over again. You gotta let that go. You don't want to do that. Let that go. And you're feeling overwhelmed. Of course you are, because you keep living in that past. It's just like your body is going through it again, over and over again. And you're feeling trapped. And you could be definitely trapped in that past situation by doing that. And you've got the Queen of Sky again upright, where they might be definitely inviting you to get out of that story. You know, get out of those emotions. And a good way to do this, do a meditation. You may have seen me do this before if you followed my readings before. Do a meditation, sit down, feel the chair, feel it under your legs. If you got arms, feel your arms. And then as you do that, take 3 deep belly breaths. They're good to start lining up. Then as you do that, then a part of you needs to just observe the part of you sitting in the chair and be aware that, hey, my body's feeling this, and observe that. And that kind of gets you out of your personality for a moment. Who is observing you? Yeah, it's getting you closer to spirit. So that can really assist you with that. And then we are working together with some different personalities with the 3 of Pentacles showing up upright there. So that's good. That's showing good there. And then we've got the Queen of Earth. So I don't know if we've got a good mother figure there. She's got her stuff together and she's good with her family and her business or not. Or maybe that's your energy, or they're bringing you into that, because you do have family support, and that came right in at the Queen of Earth. So that definitely might, sure enough, point into a mother figure. And even if it's not your biological mother, if you don't have one, or if you're in fighting with just a mother figure in your life, and family support, that could actually feel like family to you, and that's good enough. And then we need to keep that courage here. And we're kind of losing it with all the overwhelming sensations that we're feeling, and understand that. And that also represents Leo. And everything is right with your world. It may not feel like it, but they are showing you that you are, with the World card being upright. And then you have some preparations to make as you move into a new adventure. And we saw that passionate desires too with the Ace of Fire showing up. We did have that one too. And they're inviting you to move towards your desires here too with the Sky Tom too. You definitely want to do that. And inviting you to some healing here with the Priestess. And they're understanding you're going through some confusion with all of this. That's very, very understandable. And then you have a choice to make. Something unexpected in your life showed up. And I think that goes back to the Tower card with your guides knocking some things out. So the Ace of Pentacles, you had that show up in your past tense too, starting something new that is going to be successful. So that's showing up in your present tense too. So I don't know if you tried to move forward. And what followed that was the Tower. So what your guides knocked out is what's going to help that be successful. So that's showing up in your present tense too. So they're inviting you to that newness. We have to get through this oldness first. And yep, we're holding, I see, I'm skipping a card here. 7 of Swords, 7 of Sky. Yep, this is it. You got actually deceived too by this person. I'm really sorry, guys. Y'all guys have really been through it too. I'm really, really sorry. So that did not help. And you're feeling deceived. I'm really sorry that you're going through this. 6 of Cups here. You're looking at your memories, remembering the good old days and having nostalgia, but you're feeling the loss that the days are not good again. Got to get out of that. That's not doing you any good at all. That's just going to mire and hold you down in that. Okay, once the days were good with them. Yes, and you can look at those fondly and smile upon those memories, but things have changed and you're moving off to a better place because now you're going to be who you are, and you're moving off to new things, and you're being reassured that the universe has got you back and everything is going to work out in your highest good and alignment. And here, the journey that you've been on, it was not meant to be. It definitely was not to be. And that's that journey that you were on with this person that wasn't working out. So they're showing you that. So that's why we got to let this go. You're not being who you are on that journey. You're listening to the ego by being on that journey with them. And that's why it didn't work out. And there's a lot of pain. And that's why we got to let it go. We got to release that ego, surrender that ego. And then we got the Queen of Cups. You're not listening to your intuition, but being on that journey and not being who you are. You've definitely got to be who you are. Always be who you are. And that's what your card invites you to do. Love that you're different. Be who you are. That's what that's about too. And then we got the Six of Fire here, which shows we can have victory and success as we step into being who we are. As we start loving ourselves for being different and allow ourselves to be different. And then we've got the Queen of Wands. So yes, come into your success, coming into your passionate desires and following those passionate desires. So those new journeys that they're pointing you to that are going to be successful definitely will be. So definitely stick with that passion. It's always good to follow your desires. Those desires were put there by Source itself, wanting to experience itself through your unique stories, through your unique perspectives. They are your birthright to be living your desires and living your joy. And then we've got the King of Wands here. So I don't know if you've been dealing with or are dealing with like a manipulator type, someone that's pushing their way on you. A fire burns it, so to speak. So I don't know if you're dealing with that or not in your present tense. And then you have the Emperor here. So this is about coming into your power and being powerful and about being who you are. That is where your power is. Following your passions and desires. That is definitely where your power is. And this also represents Aries. So again, this card could just be thrown in there. It depends on your relative story. Just to say, hey, Aries, whether that be you or whoever you're engaged with. So that's your clarification for your present tense. And now let's look at what's your next step that we got here. And this is about the highest alignment and good that they're telling you to, and these are messages from your future self. And you ended before the clarification with you had a choice to make. And you began your next step with you have a choice to make. You're between a hard place and a rock. This one's about something unexpected, and they're like, you're stuck where you are and you don't like it, and the steps you're going to take in the change, you don't like it. And the advice always is, with that card, follow the change. You may not like the initial step, but that's going to lead you to steps that you eventually do like. So definitely do that. And then there is letting you know that, yeah, you've hit the ultimate defeat, and your pains and your fears have definitely come into your relative experiences. And so we've got to get our focus off of that because we'll just perpetuate it. But with that, everything is working out in your highest good and alignment. And that's the biggest thing that your future self is saying. Hang in there. Don't give up. Everything is going to work out ultimately great for you. Absolutely great for you. And that is not even in reverse. So deep down inside, you know this. Deep down inside your heart. So you got the Knave of Swords. So they're warning you, do not follow your ego. Because that's what you've been doing. And that's not working. So go for your ideal self. New journey. Don't follow ego. Heal and listen and heed to your higher self. And then Seven of Cups. Move towards your dreams. What is in your dreams? Your dreams are that calling. So you've got a lot of things pointing to that. Those new journeys. Following your heart's desires, they are definitely showing up, and it's showing up again here too. This is a message from your higher self. And then Two of Cups. So they're showing, if this has possibly been a messy situation, and honestly, intuitively, I've been kind of feeling a romance, relative stories. It could be a different type of relationship as well. I have kind of been feeling like this might be with a romance that's messed up. But they're showing you that there is harmony in romance. Maybe you have a romantic partner that is in harmony with you, or maybe a new partner is coming in, and that everything is right with your world. That's twice that's shown up. So I mean, it may feel like crap right now, but you're going through a breakthrough and a clearing that is bringing you to your highest good and alignment, because everything is eventually working out. So the biggest thing is you are coming to love who you are and being different and not being suppressed anymore to not be who you are, because that never works. You came here to be different. You came here to be unique. That's what we all came here to do. We don't want to be bored sick. We're clones of ourselves. Okay, so now we're going to the Oracle card to get you one more card, or maybe more, because sometimes one pops out, for an overall wrap up for the entire message here. I'm sorry I've really been through it like this. It's not fun. I've been there. I know what that's like, but hang in there. Things are getting better for you. Ano ga iya. So with your current circumstances here, this is like, I see this like a call to get back into nature. One, going back to your true nature. Also, it can be a call to get some grounding. I'll put up a card here for my chakra clearings. I have several you can choose from because it's important. The chakra clearings will clear all 12 of your chakras, and you can really use that with what you've been going through here. It also grounds you with Mother Earth, so that's showing up here too. And then it go back and open up your heart chakra, which would be very beneficial for you because that'll pull you into your power. So yeah, so it's a call into nature. Nature is very healing and very soothing, and healing is definitely what you need. That's shown up twice with the High Priestess. She's shown up twice, so that can very well help you as well to get still and get calm there and get back in tune with nature. That'll help you. And your true nature, always remember, is to be who you are. So that kind of also in that regard reaffirms your theme card. Love that you are different. So don't let anybody put you down because you're different and not make you feel of merit or worth or value. We each came here to be the unique perspective the source wants to experience through us as a unique perspective. We're honoring source. That's what we came here to do. Okay guys, so I know this was a really tough reading and I'm really sorry, but hang in there. Just remember, everything is working out in your highest alignment and good, and it is shown up twice. Everything really is right with your world. You're just clearing out some old stuff that your ego fell into, and it looks like there's a possibility that you might be getting a new romance or something's working with romance, so keep that in mind too. Okay guys, so that is your reading. I'm very sorry this was a tough one. I hope at least it was helpful. This does not spell doom and gloom that you're stuck in. That's what tarot readings are about. Reading your energies and showing you what you can do to change things to bring you into your preferred experiences. So this is what these messages are for, especially messages from your future self. So if you found this helpful, I really would appreciate a thumbs up. That helps me circulate my video out to help other people with their situations as well. I really appreciate that. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for being here with me. If you would like to subscribe so that you can hang in here with me, I'd love to have you. Just hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll know when I send out my next Sunday tarot reading and or chakra clearing on the first Wednesdays of the month. And then I have Seqkat's Musings, that series as well, which is where I teach you how to get into your joy and live in your joy, because that is what we came here to do. And this is a good reminder for you. You came here to be the unique perspective you are and to live in your joy and live your desires. That's what my message is, and that's what my goal is, to remind people that, so you can live your dreams. Okay guys, much love and empathy for what you're going through right now. Hang in there and don't give up. Until next time, much love and light.